Hello, everyone. Welcome to our first ever braid history workshop. How is everyone? All right. So, thank you for joining us. This is 713 Community Empowerment Group Braid History Workshop. Let me share you some history about our organization. We are 713 Community Empowerment Group, and we've been around for 10 years. We're actually celebrating 10 years of being an organization, non-for-profit organization. We're so happy to help serve the community. One of our wonderful achievements is able to give high school students, girls, seniors and juniors, free prom dresses every year. We've been doing this for many years. We have serviced over 400 girls in the Chicagoland area. We also do workshops. We have basic life skill training. We do food giveaways. We've did walkathons. We volunteered at walkathons. So we have done a lot of different services, and that's what we're so proud of. That we love to do services. Some of our workshops is braiding, financial, and makeup. You can find some of these videos on YouTube. All right. So now what we want to do, I want to share some information about our social media. We're on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube under Prom Girls Rock. You can also visit us on our website at www.713ceg.org or email us at admin, that's ADMIN, at 713cg.org. Now, I'm going to introduce you to one of our directors, Miss Diane. Hi, Miss Diane.
Hello, Miss Olivia. How are you?
I'm
And welcome.
wonderful. And you?
And doing well. Welcome, everyone. My name is Diane. I am the financial director here at 713 Community Empowerment Group and Prom Girls Rock. First of all, I would like to thank all of you for joining us today for our Black History Month presentation on the history of hair. We appreciate your attendance today and thank you. But before we get started, I'm going to follow up where Miss Olivia left off. We would like for you all to please follow us on all of our social media platforms and to like, share, and subscribe us at Prom Girls Rock. We're on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, and our website is www.713ceg.org. Secondly, we have some good news. You will have a chance to win a prize at the end of the workshop. And how you can win is what we're going to do is we're going to have some review questions. So pay attention, get your pen and notepad and take some notes. And whoever answers the question correctly at the end of the program will win a prize. We will have 3 prize winners and only 1 prize per person. So get your pen and pad and enjoy the presentation. And also let us know where you're viewing from. Okay, we'll follow up with you later. And back to you, Miss Olivia.
Thank you, Miss Diane. That was awesome. So, just to piggyback what Miss Diane was saying, we stay to the end of this workshop. It's some great information coming to you, and we're going to ask you some questions. We're going to have some winners. Okay. Awesome. Awesome. So let me tell you a little bit about myself. I am one of the directors at Prom Girls Rock and 713 CEG. I am also a licensed cosmetology instructor over 30 years, also a braid instructor over 5 years, and a barber instructor about 2 years. I love my craft. I love what I do. I love braiding. I love doing hair. I love working with the students. That's a great thing for me and a passion. All right. So we want to move on from there, and we have an awesome video to show you. It's about the history of hair braiding. So join us, enjoy the video.
The history of black hair, our hairstory. The history behind all elaborate designs and hairstyles originated in different ethnic groups in Africa. The first known example of dreadlocks date back to ancient Egypt, where dreadlocks appeared on many artifacts. Ancient Egyptians with dreadlocks have also been recovered from archaeological sites. Socially, hair grooming played a significant part in status and identity in African tribes. It was a way to identify someone's social status based on ethnicity, social rank, age, marital status, wealth, fertility, manhood, religion, and death. Twisting, braiding, cotton or wool thread weaving, adding animal fat, or mud and clay were all techniques used to create these elaborate looks. Due to styling taking hours and sometimes days, much like today, women use this time of beautifying as a chance to socialize and form meaningful bonds with one another. In 1444, Europeans began to kidnap Africans of all social statuses and trade them on the west coast of Africa. Many wore elaborate hairstyles. Although the Europeans were first entranced with and admired the complexity of style, texture, and adornment of black hair, something had to be done to rid them of their identity to maintain control and dependency. Many slave owners shaved not only the men's hair but women's hair as well. This was considered an unspeakable crime to many tribes. In 1619, the first slaves were brought to Jamestown. After being on a ship for 3 months in unbearable conditions where hygiene, let alone hair care maintenance, couldn't be maintained, many of the enslaved Africans' hair was matted upon arrival. The enslaved Africans were no longer allowed to speak their native languages, do traditional dances, and maintain their hair in the styles that they chose. All of the African culture and grooming traditions began to disappear. Slave owners wanted to cut off the enslaved Africans' connection to their true self. They pushed their standard of beauty, fair skin, straight hair, and thin facial features. African dark skin, kinky hair, and wider facial features were deemed unattractive. Because of this, lighter skinned, straight hair slaves commanded higher prices at auction. Due to brainwashing and internalizing color consciousness, many blacks promoted the idea that dark skin and kinky hair were less attractive and worth less. The enslaved Africans were given no way to care for their hair. In the 1800s, without combs and the herbal treatments used in Africa, they were forced to use bacon grease, butter, kerosene, and sheep brushes to maintain their hair.
Hi, welcome back. I hope you enjoyed that video. That was so informational, and it tells about our ancient history. All right, braids. Let's talk about braids. Braids are not just a style, but it's an art form. It's a wonderful art form. You can form different styles with braids. If that craft that you love, you can make a lot of money with it, become professional with it. You can start a full business with braids. There needs to be a passion. There needs to be braids have to be perfected. Braids have to be practiced on to be perfected, and it has to be embraced. It definitely is something that is close to the heart when you braid. All right, let's talk about in African culture. In African ancient culture, braids meant a lot of things. So when they did braids in Africa, in ancient cultures, it wasn't just a style. It was also showed your identity, your humanity, where you belong. So some of the things that braids meant were strength. Braids could mean your strength, your wealth, your religion, your wisdom. Were you a wise man? What class were you in? What type of society were you part of? Were you married or single? Were you a leader? Were you a prince, a princess, a pharaoh, a queen, or a king? Were you braids even meant something in death? Were you a pharaoh in death? Were you a queen in death? Were you a pauper? So, your culture, every tribe had a different culture. So it meant a lot of different things. So let me share with you some ancient African history facts. Ancient African braid styles were passed down through the generations. What that means is they were passed down and watched by the parents and the grandparents. So, for example, it was passed down from the great grandmother to the grandmother to the mother to the daughter. And that just means everybody, all those generations paid attention to what each one did. It's sort of like cooking. You learn how to cook from your mother and your grandmother, and you pass that on to your daughter. It was the same way with braids. All right. So African Egyptians braided their hair to keep cool. It was very hot in Africa. So how they kept, well, just think about our hair. Our hair grows long, it grows curly, and we always want to keep it under control. So how they learned to keep it under control was to learn how to braid and to braid in those beautiful styles. So by braiding their hair, it kept them cool from the harsh heat. It separated their hair so the air could get to it. It also kept the bugs and the lice out of their hair as well. So another fact is, although Egyptians did not like body hair, they loved their hair on their head. So they shaved their body hair, but they kept their hair on their head because that was their crowning glory. They styled their hair with wigs, jewelry, beads, and extension. And we absolutely have a picture to show you a wig with beads in it. This particular picture was made this particular wig was made maybe 3,000 or 4,000 years ago. And it has, if you look at it really closely, it's really intricate and detailed, well made, and it's still preserved to this day. It has beads in it. It has extensions in it. Whatever the cap was, is still lasting. So the Africans were really a crafter type people. They were really passionate about what they did. All right. And we also had extensions years ago. So extensions, wigs, they are not new. They go back 4,000, 5,000 years. Nothing new with hair, right? And the earliest evidence of braiding hair goes back to 7,000 or 8,000 years ago. The common braid that we know today, that's called a box braid, excuse me, is over 5,000 years ago. Yes, a box braid is that old, 5,000 years. And that was by the Egyptians. The earliest evidence of cornrows goes back about 500 BC, before Christ. And that was found in Nigeria. So the box braids and the cornrows been around a long time. And sometimes we think we're doing something new. Our ancestors prepared us for these beautiful styles. All right, we have another picture to show you of, this is a picture of cornrows, very detailed. This is a wig, and this might have been worn by a pharaoh or a queen. Very detailed. It's beautiful as well in the colors. I love this. All right, and they wore wigs over 4,000 years ago. So we go back 7,000 to 8,000 years ago, 4,000 years ago. So we just say many thousands of years ago, these styles were created. The earliest first country to wear wigs was Africa. That was the first country to wear wigs and extensions was Africa. Ancient hair extensions go back 5,000 years ago. So they learned how to make extensions by using human hair and sheep wool. Because the funny thing is sheep wool is like human hair. So it braids the same way, it works the same way. You could comb it and put the oils in it and braid that type of hair. In those times, they gave hair pieces. They took care of their hair pieces and their wigs with the tree barks, the oils that they had, um, berries, nuts they ground up. So the most common colors of wigs and extensions in ancient times were red, blue, and gold. So the red could have been berries, beets that they used to color the hair. The blue could have been the rocks on the water or in caves. And the gold could have been the yellow from the flowers. In Cleopatra's time, her favorite wig color was blue. She loved blue. That was one of her favorite wig colors. All right. So only Africans or Egyptians could afford these wigs. So you, like I said before, you had to be a pharaoh, a king, or queen, prince, leader of a tribe. You had to be in some type of leadership to afford those wigs because they were very intricate, much more detailed than they are today. For them to last 4,000 years ago, that's a very detailed, well-made wig. Another fun fact is men wore wigs as well. They shaved their heads to wear their wig. But something they're doing today, they're shaving their heads today to wear wigs as well. So that came back full circle. So men wanted to wear the wigs as well. So we're going to go back to Miss Diane right now. Miss Diane, got any news?
Well, I'm really enjoying this presentation. I hope you all are enjoying it as well. Let me take a sneak peek into some of the comments that we've received. I see we are being joined by, I hope I'm saying this correctly, Abolor? Abolor? Good evening, Miss Abolor. We also have Miss Adia, and we have Shananaya Israel. And some of the questions that have come in is, we have someone viewing from Chicago. Okay, one second. Abola Reese. Okay, thank you so much. One of the someone's viewing from Chicago. I do have a question. Someone
Sure.
asked, is that a man's wig, a man's or a woman's wig, that first one that you showed?
Well, the first one that we showed, it could have been either one. It was definitely a wig of leadership, pharaoh, queen, something like that. It was definitely because of the detail in it. It was a wig of leadership because that's who could afford that.
Okay. And the next question is, do you have any illustrations of hairstyles for Israelites?
We can share that on our website. So
Yeah.
we're gonna share many more pictures like that on our website. So you can go to www.713ceg.org.
Wonderful. Thank you, everyone, for your questions. Continue to send the questions in, and let us also know how you found out about the workshop. And just a reminder that at the end of the program, you will be eligible to win a prize, but you have to stay tuned. And also to go to our website and check out our website, www.713ceg.org, and click on the events tab. And there you will find information on our next scheduled workshop. Back to you, Miss Olivia.
Thank you, Miss Diane. All right. I'm so happy to share all this good information with you guys. All right. So we're going to go on and we're going to talk about African women before slavery in the United States. We talked about how they wore artful, detailed braided styles. So when they were captured into slavery by their slave masters, the slave masters shaved their heads. Now, the reason they shaved their heads was to take their humanity, their self-esteem, their identity. So this was a very cruel act, very inhumane. But that was the whole purpose. It was a reason they wanted to do that. They didn't want the Africans to come over here or to be captured and think that they were still princes, princesses, pharaohs, kings, or queens. They wanted to take that identity, and that's what they did. They robbed them of their identity and their culture and their statue in life. They were stripped of everything that they believed in, and that is where they removed everything from them. It was very cruel and inhumane, very cruel and calculated. So while the slaves were in America, they no longer had the herbs, the berries, the barks, the oils, the fruits, the things that they had in Africa. They no longer had that. They didn't have all those wonderful resources. So once they were over here, one thing about Black people, African people, we are very resourceful. So we had to figure out how to care for our hair again. So what they did was they used what was available. And what they used was bacon grease, clay, mud, butter from the table, kerosene oil. To comb their hair, they use a table fork. To brush their hair, they use a sheet brush and many various kitchen utensils. Very, very crude, right? Very crude. So this is how they care for their hair. And as their hair grew back, they learned how to be very detailed and intricate with their hair. Let's show a picture of some of the braid styles. So this is a picture from Africa. So this might have been a wig from 3, 4, 5,000 years ago. So you see how detailed this is. This was back in Africa. You see the individual braids, how many braids. It might have been uncountable number of braids, hundreds of braids up under the curly hair, right? And then you have the curly on hair on top. So they knew how to style that. They knew how to take care of that. And that lasted many, many years. All right, so let's move on. So during slavery times, braids served as a secret messaging system. Let's see that picture. All right, so braids served as a secret messaging system for slaves to communicate with one another. They braided escape route patterns in their hairstyles to seek freedom from their slave masters. The women would weave or braid maps in their hair. So patterns were used to deliver secret messages. For instance, the plaits could mean many roads people needed to walk or where to meet somebody under bondage. If you look at the pictures, there are different styles, right? So one style could mean walk down this road, meet me at this river. Meet me in the next slave master's house. Meet me behind that bush. So it could mean many things. And if the braids were braided tightly, they actually put a map up under there and maybe pulled it into a ponytail or wrapped it around the head. So we used our hair to escape. We used our hair to escape bondage. Again, very resourceful, right? Very resourceful. All right, Miss Diane, back to you. Do we have any news? Muted. You muted, Miss Diane.
Sorry about that. Okay, we are continuing to enjoy this presentation. Thank you all again for coming. And let me look and see if we have more questions for Miss Olivia. Yes, we do. The first question I have says, what did they use to comb their hair?
They use forks or sheet brush or whatever was available from the kitchen.
Okay. And the next question is, what did they use to make the wigs?
They made the wigs out of sheep hair, animal hair, human hair. So if someone had long hair, they might have cut that person's hair to make the wig.
And another question is regarding the bacon grease or the butter that you mentioned. Is that the same as hair grease that we use now?
It would be, absolutely. It would be. The bacon grease would be like using a hot oil treatment, or if it was cold, it would be using, like, let's say, cocoa butter
Mhm.
or shea butter.
Okay. And the last question is, what kind of oil should I use on my braids?
You should always use natural oils like olive oil, coconut oil, almond oil, jojoba oil. There's many natural oils you could use. You could go to a health food store and buy natural oils, plant oils, plant oils.
Okay. And just a reminder, we will be selecting a winner, three winners at the end of the program. And in order to claim your prize, what we will need for you to do is to send us an email at admin@713ceg.org. It should be streaming on the screen right now. That's admin@713ceg.org. And we'll need your full name and your mailing address. And once we receive that information in our email, we will send the prize out to you directly. All right, back to you, Miss Olivia.
All right, thank you, and I hope you guys enjoyed that little information that we shared. Um, and I want to start asking you guys some questions. So the first question is, what are some of the things hair braiding represented in ancient Africa?
Yeah,
Who remembers?
I am checking the comments. Uh, all right, Miss Abolaris, she says it represented the status.
She's absolutely correct.
Yay! She also says it represented wealth and education.
Absolutely.
I see
Absolutely.
someone's been taking notes. Very good, very good. Next
All right,
question.
next question. What continent did hair braiding begin?
And we're waiting for an answer. What continent did hair braiding begin? Where did it originate? Uh,
Correct. We have two answers.
we have two answers. Both
Both of
said
them are correct.
very good, very good. Yay. We have an
Okay, I
answer.
have another question. How did slaves communicate secret escape routes?
How did slaves communicate secret escape routes?
All right.
Braid pattern. That's one of the answers.
That is correct. That is 100% correct.
Very
Awesome,
good.
awesome. We got a smart group here.
Yes, very good. Very
I have
nice.
one more. I have one more question. How did Africans care for their hair in Africa?
How did Africans care for their hair in Africa? Anyone? Anyone? Pattern of braids? Braid pattern? Oh, okay. We have berries, oils, natural ingredients.
Correct. Awesome.
Very good, you guys.
Awesome.
Very
Awesome.
Okay. So it looks like we have, okay, and another person says oils.
Yes.
Michelle says through cornrows and braids.
Okay.
Very good. Nice. You guys are doing so well. And it looks like we have 3 winners. We have Michelle T. We have a, I want to make a Bolaris. And we also have Adia. Thank you so much, you guys. You guys rock. Yay! Congratulations. Okay. So in order to claim your prize, again, what I will need for you to do is email us at admin@713ceg.org. That's 713 Community Empowerment Group, admin@713ceg.org. And the information is currently on your screen. We'll need that information, your full name and your mailing address to send you your prize. As soon as we get that information, we will send your prize directly out to you. You guys rock. And I'm hoping that you all enjoyed this Black History Month presentation on the history of hair braiding with 713 Community Empowerment Group. And we would like to also thank you all for being in attendance and joining us. And also what we would like for you to please consider a generous donation, if you will, to 713 CEG so that we may offset our costs of all of our future workshops and also our upcoming Prom Girls Rock prom dress donation event. If you want to donate, just go to our website, www.713ceg.org, and click on the tab Donate. And you will be connected to our secure PayPal donation button. And because 713 Community Empowerment Group is a 501c3 non-for-profit organization, all of your donations are tax deductible. And we would like to thank you for your continued support. Check with us in the future for our next upcoming scheduled workshop. And we want to thank you for joining us and enjoy your day. Thank you for coming, everyone. Goodbye.